Hi, I'm Jake. I'm from the United States.
And I'm Léonie, and I'm from France.
And today we're going to be talking about the differences in housing between the United States
and France.
So one of the big differences I notice, and if you go throughout the United States, you're going to see that the sound insulation for a lot of homes is not very good. What do you think about that?
I think the material they use to build houses in America isn't that good.
Yeah.
Some people have asked me like, "Hey, what's that? It looks like paper. What's that plastic house?" I was like, "You're insulting my house now. It's not plastic. It's not paper, but it's definitely less strong than the material we use in Europe for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Which here it looks like stone. I don't even know the word for that, but
yeah, in the United States we call it paper mache. It looks like a paper mache, like you could put your finger through the house. It's very, very light, unfortunately, but I like that in Europe. That most of the homes are made of stone. That's very nice. I think a lot of the homes in Europe are built differently. Even the format is different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, you guys have 2 bathrooms, don't you? In France?
Depending on what you call a bathroom.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, here's the thing. If you call a toilet itself just a half bathroom, then yes, we have different types of bathrooms. We have usually a bathroom with a shower and a bathtub, a sink, or 2 sinks, and that's it. And then in another room, you got the toilet. Mm-hmm. Whereas in America, I think it's all together, right? It's all put in the same room.
we always, if there is a shower in a bathroom, there is always a toilet. In France, usually the toilet and the shower are not together. What's the logic behind that? Care to explain it?
So I'm gonna try, because I grew up with a German mom, and she designed the house with a toilet in the bathroom. So I actually grew up with this American style he's actually describing right now. You're describing right now, but I would say it's like if someone wants to use the toilet, then I can't even brush my teeth, right? I can't even shower. Then there's only one person that can go in, and that's not very efficient.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's still just so weird for me. Yeah, I understand the idea, though, that if someone's showering, you would like to be able to use the toilet. Mm-hmm. So I do get that. One thing I don't get is the fact that there are no screens in France. Oh my gosh. There's no screens in France, so if there are mosquitoes in the area, they tend to come in if you leave the window open or the door. In the United States, pretty much no matter where you go, you will always have screens.
Yeah, it's kind of a luxury to have screens. It's very expensive in France. Again, maybe it's not typical, but I grew up seeing half my family having screens and half my family not having screens. But I think Jake's right. We tend to have less screens than in the US for sure. Mm. Also, it's probably also more humid in the part you grew up in.
That's true.
Know if it's
That's true. I'm from New Jersey. So anyone that knows the northeast part of the United States, it is very, very humid. Whether it's summer or winter, it's always humid. So we do have we have a lot of mosquitoes, unfortunately. Mm. Yeah, but they could come from our big open yards, which tend to be something you find in the United States, right?
True, that's another difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised in the US, like, people don't have, well, first they have big yards, front yards, backyards, and we call everything a garden. In France or in French, we say, "Oh, do you have a garden?" And we just don't even think of having fruit or vegetable in your garden, just having some space to, like, play soccer.
Yeah, your version of garden is a lawn. We call what you call a garden, we call that a lawn.
And they're much bigger in the US. It's true. We also in France tend to like separate our lawns from, if this is my backyard, my neighbor can't just cross and enter my property. Whereas in the US, usually upper middle class, people have no distinction. I mean, it's not really set.
Yeah, we have fences that tend to separate one person's yard from another person's yard, but you're correct. Sometimes there's no fence, so the two yards melt together. You guys, do you use walls? Because I've been...
yeah, all the time. Yeah, walls, fences, yeah, for sure. Maybe it's also due to the fact that people can just break into your homes. Of course, France is modern too. We also have the alarms
System.
that go off, you know, if someone breaks in. But I would say the most important thing is if you have a dog, like, how do you do it? Like, don't they walk away?
That's a good question. Actually, in the United States, we tend to use the electric collars, which I never owned a dog, but I know many people that do. And I don't think it's very good for dogs, but they learn quick, right?
Exactly.
It takes just one time, and then the dog knows to not go outside of the perimeter of the yard.
This is what I tell people when they ask the question, but still, I'm like, was it always like that? It's weird, right? We just have walls and dogs, and I don't know. They just don't go away. I mean, cats go away, but they come back.
Another thing that I noticed is a big difference between France and the United States is there is a bit of a lack of air conditioning. That was something that was very difficult for me coming to France. France is not as hot as where I'm from, but it still gets quite warm, and having air conditioning would be nice. Why is it that France does not have a lot of air conditioning?
Again, France is a modern country. It honestly, for the last 7-8 years, more and more people have implemented them in their homes. But if you think about it, like old buildings, especially in big cities such as Paris, these buildings have been there for decades. I don't want to say centuries, but you know what I mean? And if you want to now build those in for each apartment, that would be a whole thing. It's not like building new homes and just putting an AC in it. It's more so... They've been here for a long time.
Yeah,
that makes the whole structure.
That makes a lot of sense. And the houses in France tend to be built of more solid materials, right? So it's easy because in the United States they're made of paper mache. You can put your finger through the wall. It's hard to do that with stone, for houses made in France.
So there's pros and cons.
Yeah, pros and cons. Actually, that's very true. Yeah, pro is in France there's sound insulation. Con, maybe it's difficult to put in air conditioning. That's
Can't have it all.
You can't have it all. That's right. That's right. I think that one of the things I do like about the fact that the homes are made of paper mache is that they have the big open kitchens, those open concept kitchens, which allow Americans to have very big kitchens that have connected spaces to maybe the living room or dining room.
I can think of 2 cons, actually.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, like the first one, I'm cooking for the family like fish, something stinky. The entire home smells like fish all of a sudden. Second, in France, it's kind of expensive to the heat and electricity are kind of expensive. So I can imagine heating those big houses with large spaces. It takes longer to warm up, and it consumes way more energy.
That's a good point. It definitely does. It consumes more energy, and it does take longer. That is very true. Well, I think that sums up a lot of the differences between houses in France and the United States. If you like this content, please leave a comment and subscribe for more. And also, let us know if we missed anything. I would love to hear what you guys think. If there's some differences that Léonie and I didn't cover, please let us know. Cool. Well, see you next time. Bye.
Bye.